Welcome to the House of Orange Sports Channel. This is Frank Rock. I hope you're doing great out there, Vol Nation. Uh, we're going to talk about tonight, as it was released this evening. PerfectGame.com released their final rankings for 2024. Tennessee ranks, as they have through the entire cycle, #1 in the country. We'll talk about that in a minute. But just want to say a big thanks to all you guys for supporting the channel. Thank you for giving it a chance, and just thank you for continuing to support it, continuing to check out the content. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, you share out the content if you have not already. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you turn on those notifications. But I had some videos here, and I'll link some of that here at the end of the video where you can click on that as well. But Tennessee signing class, #1 overall in the country. It was #1 overall prior to the Major League Baseball draft. PerfectGame.com redid everything today after the draft, after guys have signed, after everything's finalized with it. Tennessee does remain #1 in the country for 2024. With that, 20 signees. Now, here's the thing about it, too. With the 20 signees, their average player ranking, according to PerfectGame.com, is 8.30. LSU, in that regard, with just 10 commits signed, their average player ranking is 120. Auburn signed 14. Funny enough, Auburn, and where their program has been, signed 14. Only 2 top 100 guys they ranked. Their average player ranking was 8.86. Tennessee, 20 high school signees, 7 in the top 100, 8.30 for their average players. And so Tennessee ranks #1, Georgia Tech #2, and then you look at pretty much SEC for the next bit. Auburn, Mississippi, LSU, Texas, Vanderbilt. You did bring in TCU, Miami, and then Florida rounds out the top 10 in that regard also. This signing class, when it went to the Major League Baseball draft, there were numerous guys who had that potential, could have gone pro, had interest from the majors to go, and they did not. Tennessee lost Ty Southseen. They lost Trey Snyder to the Cubs, to the Mets, respectively. They lost Lucas Ramirez to the Angels, and they lost Ethan Wagner to the Astros. Southseen, Trey Snyder, that was the top 2 guys that Tennessee lost. They still got 7 top 100 guys to campus in order, according to PerfectGame.com. Anson Siebert, 35 overall. Levi Clark, Anson Siebert, pitcher out of Overland Park, Kansas, 35 overall. Levi Clark, a catcher out of Marietta, Georgia, 36 overall. I'm curious to see, does he catch? Does he switch positions here? From everything I've gathered and heard on him, his bat is really good. So his bat could possibly be too good to keep out of the lineup. And you got to think with Cannon Peebles, with Stone Lawless, these guys kind of have that leg up. But I can tell you this right now, if they're not getting the job done, you've got a guy coming in, very highly thought of, coming in, ranked number 36 overall. Tegan Coons, pitcher, Gettysburg, Pennsylvania, according to Perfect Game, number 45 overall. I expect big things out of this guy, and I would not be surprised to see him as part of that weekend rotation. I'll talk more about these freshmen and the impact they're going to have when I get done. I'm going over the top 100. Arnold Abernathy, Ackworth, Georgia, infielder, number 61 overall. Braden Krenzel, pitcher out of Ohio, 81st overall. Manny Marin, shortstop out of Florida, 88 overall. Jackson Walker, outfielder, Lenore City, number 94 overall. That's your 7 top 100 guys coming to campus. You've got pitchers, you've got infielders, you've got a catcher in Clark, you've got an outfielder in Walker. How many of these guys force opportunity here? I think especially if you're able to play the outfield, there's opportunity for you on this team. I think if you're a starting pitcher type candidate, there's opportunity for you on this team. There's a lot of these guys who are going to pitch, whether it's in the weekend or whether it's out of the bullpen on the weekend. Now, a bullpen guy could throw midweek or weekend, either one. If you're in that weekend rotation, you're throwing either Thursday or Friday, depending when they start, Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, depending on how they go, depending on TV. All of your schedule so far is set for Friday and Saturday, but it can shift based on what TV does with it. Here's the thing with Tennessee, though. You've got 7 top 100 guys. There's more. Chris Newstrom, infielder out of Phoenix, Arizona, 118. Tate Strickland, pitcher, Powder Springs, 161. Ryler Smart, left-handed pitcher out of Texas, 183. Aiden Hayes, pitcher out of Illinois, 234. That's your top guys. You got Brendan Siegler out of Farragut, 311. Brooks Wright out of Knoxville, 341. Andrew DeMont, pitcher, Wildwood, Missouri, 350. Nick Abraham, pitcher out of California, 409. Robinson Martin, 471 out of Memphis. Bo Revord, Jefferson City, 493. Jackson Jones, Dane Morrow, Stratton Scott. First base, infielder, right-handers, respectively. Kansas, Kentucky, Tennessee, Farragut, Tennessee, respectively. That's your signing class 20 overall. Pitching, to me, there's opportunity here because I know people are saying, and I'm one who's gone on record, but I'm starting to change my opinion on this. What's Nate Snead do next year? I think there's a possibility he's in the rotation. I could also see him staying in that role he is now. I know Tony Vitello alluded to last year with some of his comments when Snead would pitch, and especially if he concluded some weekend series talking about how Snead really wanted to throw more innings. That told me really in a roundabout way he's saying Snead wanted to start. Liam Doyle's coming in from Ole Miss. He was a starter last year. You got to think he's going to have a chance to be in that as well. But then, I don't see any more obvious candidates who are on this roster. You've got these freshmen coming in who are supposed to be really good. They're putting in the work right now. They've been on campus since June, right around that draft. Most of them, the guys who I guess were waiting to see if were drafted or not, they come to campus around that time of the draft. They've been working with Coach Eberhard ever since. You got to think most of these guys coming to campus have probably not been in the type of weight program that Tennessee has with strength and conditioning, with nutrition, with all that stuff. From what I hear, these guys are coming in hungry. They're ready to go. That's the freshmen I'm talking about. Pitchers, they're coming in on a mission. I've got to think these hitters as well. Your Clarks, your Abernathys, your Walkers, your Marins. There's opportunity there because I think Curley, I think you can pencil him in. I think you can pencil in Gavin Keelan. Other than that, if Ariel Antigua hits, he's the best shortstop on this team, returning or portal. I can't say that about the high school guys. I haven't seen them play. But I do know this. If you're a better shortstop than Ariel Antigua, you can play. You're pretty damn good if you're better than Ariel Antigua because we saw him last year. I saw him play this past summer up in the App League a little bit. The guy can absolutely play. There's not a play he can't make. There's not a throw he cannot make. If his bat's right, he is your best shortstop returning on this team. Like I said, if one of these freshmen's better, you just got to tip your cap to them. And that's a good thing if one of them's better at short than Antigua. I know Keelan's good. It's nothing. There's not a better shortstop again on the roster than Antigua. First base, there is opportunity at first base. Does Bargo take it? Does somebody else step up and take that role? At catcher, you got to pencil in Cannon Peebles, but what if Cannon Peebles, if he improves, if he gets better, sure, it's his job. Does Stone Lawless get an opportunity? Does Levi Clark? He's been on campus. He's working. What do they do with him position-wise? Does he catch? Can he play somewhere else? That's a good thing about a lot of these freshmen. There is that versatility. They can play multiple positions. To me, that outfield's full of opportunity. Other than Hunter Inslee, I do think Reese Chapman, he had a good summer up in the Cape Cod League. I really think Reese Chapman is going to be that guy like Dylan Dreiling, Kavaris Tears last year to take that next step and do their thing. Andrew Fisher is going to fit in somewhere. I don't think he came to Tennessee to DH either. Can he play left field? Can he play first base? I can't see Curley anywhere other than third base. Curley can play first base. Curley can play the outfield in my opinion, Curley's your third baseman next year. I think he's prototypical looking third baseman. I think he's ideal for it based on where he's at. Outfielders opportunity and that pitching. You've got a lot of JUCO guys, 6 JUCO guys. You've got all these stud freshmen coming in. With fall camp, fall ball starting, I'm pretty sure it starts next week from what I've been told. I'm telling you, it's going to be a knockdown drag out. It's going to be awesome. I'd love to be down there to see it. There's a lot of opportunity. There's going to be a lot of hungry guys coming in. And here's what I can tell you. If you're a returning player, you're in that midweek, you're having trouble finding your niche. You're having trouble finding your spot. I don't mean this negatively in either way. You're going to get left behind because this is the most talent that Tennessee has brought in, possibly in program history, definitely under the Tony Vitello era. And he's brought in a lot of talent. This group of talent, though, awesome. It's awesome. This is what big-time programs do. This is what national title programs do. This is what programs do when they reload, not rebuild. This Tennessee program, they're reloading. They are, I know some get mad when I say this, trying to build a dynasty. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you share it out. If you have not already subscribed, turn on those notifications as well. There are the membership options on the channel. 3 membership options. There's the Patreon if you want to support the channel. There's also the super thanks in the bottom right-hand corner if you just want to say thanks for the content. Those are always appreciated, but the content is free. Memberships are, of course, it's not going to affect the content. Maybe at some point I put out some members-only stuff, but that's down the line. Content is free. And we'll just, I'm kind of tripping over my words. I'm going to wrap up on that one. I'm going to release in the morning too. I've got a video that I'm making. Tennessee, there's 4 things I've narrowed it down to against Oklahoma this weekend. That will release in the morning at 7 a.m. In the meantime, guys, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thank you for the support. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Last, most certainly not least, go Vols.